Welcome to station WEFUNK, better known as We Funk, or deeper still, the Mothership Connection, home of the extraterrestrial brothers, dealers of funky music.
Let me tell you about Sir Nose devoid of funk, also known as the Square. He is a little odd. Here he is in one of his many different forms. He comes from the mind of Dr. Funkenstein himself, aka George Clinton, of the funk band P-Funk. Let's follow Sir Nose as we delve into this funky and fun psychedelic story that interweaves the theme of escapism through the mind of George Clinton, the eyes of Amelia Earhart, and the surrealist Matta. It all started when Sir Nose was watching a documentary on Amelia Earhart.
In 1929, women were allowed to fly in an air race for the first time. Although it was given cutesy names by the media and by male pilots like the Powder Puff Derby, the 1929 Women's Air Derby was no cakewalk. A quarter of the pilots didn't finish the race, and only the best were allowed to enter. Among those were Amelia Earhart. Relatively new to celebrity after her flight across the Atlantic in 1928, Earhart was already campaigning for female pilots to be called simply pilots, rather than popular diminutives like ladybirds, angels, or sweethearts of the air. Although Earhart's goggles, shown here, were stolen during a refueling stop in the Derby, this suffragette was determined to finish the race, to prove female pilots were every bit as good as the men, and were certainly no powder puffs. Through her celebrity, Earhart was able to gain opportunities not usually granted to women. She wore pants, cut her hair very short, and even designed her own line of practical women's clothing, in addition to going on speaking tours and writing books about her experiences. This work allowed her to break free from many traditional gender norms and provide a path for other women to find their own voices. We may never know Amelia Earhart's fate. Although theories abound, none have proven conclusive.
Sir Nose was startled awake by a knock at the door. It was Starchild coming to take him to what he called Cosmic Church, a P-Funk concert where he was supposed to find a higher state of being through the funk. He was reluctant, being a square, but he went anyway. As they left, Starchild handed him something. "Here, this'll get your funk going." At the concert, Sir Nose saw something he will never forget.
I think I see the mothership coming. Lord. I think I hear the mothership.
High up above, out of the blackness, he saw something. A spaceship. It was the mothership. Something started to overcome Sir Nose, this feeling like he wanted to dance. It's the funk. It's got a hold of him. Then, Dr. Funkenstein, the lead singer of the band, threw a pair of goggles into the crowd. Sir Nose caught them and flashed back to the show about Amelia Earhart. He stopped being a square and escaped into this funkadelic world, and before he knew it, he was up on stage in a white coat and hat. He wanted to fly like Amelia Earhart. Then the mothership took him away into this surreal psychedelic world. After flying through space, his vision started to clear. He realized he was sitting in an art museum in front of a painting that looked strangely like his dreams. He leaned forward towards the label and read,
Matta, a Chilean artist, was part of the surrealist movement that began as a literary device to release the unbridled imagination. Visual artists, tired of the constraints of realism and conventional forms of artistic expression, tapped into these new methods, expanding this new artistic movement. Artists like Matta created fantastical and dreamlike images bordering on the erotic, bizarre, and even hypnotic, creating a new way of experiencing art. Matta's methodologies revolved around inscapes, morphologies of the psyche, and maps of the mind that encompass the past, present, and future, all intertwined into one. This new form of expression allowed these artists to escape the conventionalism of reality and bring to life the cerebral world of their unconsciousness. Matta, along with other surrealist artists, escaped World War II and lived as expatriates in New York City, thereby bringing surrealism to America. Matta, being one of the only English-speaking surrealists, translated surrealist ideas to American artists, thus having a major impact on artists such as Mark Rothko, Jackson Pollock, and Arshile Gorky, which essentially ushered in a new American artistic movement called abstract expressionism.